Dr. Richard Bartlett here, there, and everywhere. You know, it's funny. Victor, my son, and I, we were talking about online, presences, and this person who identified as a deer, and he wore antlers, and he'd go outside and eat grass, and he had this big TikTok presence. And I was thinking about that, and I thought how ridiculous that is. And then I kind of looked back, I took a step back, and I thought about how all identity is kind of ridiculous. Like I never identify as a healer, but I mean, I do identify as a doctor. I've earned it, but it's a role. And the same thing with identify as a musician. I've played instruments since I was 9 years old or something, so yeah, but is that who I really am? Do I even know who or what I really am? Do you? I don't think so, right? Just because we identify as something, it's light and shadows on a screen that's constantly shifting and changing, and we try and keep it the same. I was watching The Sopranos again for I don't know how many times last night, rewatching, just showed up in my world. I finished all the Columbo, which is like, what, 17 seasons or something? Finished all the Columbo, and I was like, okay, now what can I watch? And then I just asked an open-ended question, and whatever shows up, then I just go with that, And so all of a sudden, Sopranos showed up. So I started watching it. Now, I was telling Kay, there's this really funny scene where Tony Soprano, Gandolfini, sitting in the character Jennifer Melfi's office, psychiatrist's office, and he's looking at this picture on the wall, and he thinks that it's some sort of psychological test. He calls it a Horseshack test or something like that. And so he goes in and he accuses Melfi of being this snotty, psychiatrist. And he used these words. It's really funny. He says, let me see if I can find it here. Just a minute. I've lost it. But basically, he says, it's a snotty, Yale or Harvard, test where you're smarter than we are, and you put this rotten, this decrepit barn with this rotting wood and this tree there just to gauge our reaction. And she just bought it because she liked the way it looked. And so we make all these judgments from our character. We make these characterizations. But then if we start to question the character, you can start to observe the character, and you can start to enjoy the fact that it's just a picture on a wall. I'll see you next week.